I'm Johannes van Overbeek with ESM Patron, coming at you from the Roar before the 24-hour race here at Daytona. And I'm going to take you on a little tour of our Ligier prototype. At the front here, we have our nose piece, which is going to be carried away here shortly. If you look carefully, every little angle has been massaged to get the most out of the airflow that comes over this car at nearly 200 miles an hour here on the banking at Daytona. As you noticed, the entire car is made out of carbon fiber. We have LED headlights up front, which are a big improvement over last year's car. We got a big splitter. The suspension, it's torsion bar springs. There's a third element to help keep the car off the ground at high speed. We've got excellent brake cooling going to the carbon disc. It has carbon brakes all the way around. And if you ever get a chance to pick up a carbon disc, do it. You won't believe how light it is relative to its steel counterpart. And we have Ligier getting in. Kind of standard modern cockpit. Everything's electronic, really no gauges to speak of. There's more warning lights, so if oil pressure, temperature gets out of range, a warning light comes on, we report back and they tell us what to do. At the back of the car here, one thing that's very unique about this Nissan prototype is the engine. It's a 3.8 liter twin turbo V6, and it's directly out of the street car. It's in GT3 trim, as you see it here. If you look at the intake plenum, right out of the street car with some modifications for these structural elements. Throttle bodies are street car, headers are street car. This is really a reliable, flat torque curve, excellent engine to drive, and it makes roughly 700 horsepower depending on the balance of performance. At the rear, pushrod rear suspension. We have our third element here. Does the same thing as it does on the front of keeping the car off the ground when all the downforce piles on at close to 200 miles an hour. We've got our alternators driven off the gearbox, which is unique relative to a street car. We've got a 6-speed sequential transmission. We only use the clutch for coming in the pits or leaving, which for those of you who are used to a sequential gearbox in a road car, you don't ever use the clutch. The rear section here comes off just like the front for repairs or adjustments. Everything you see here is mandated by the rules. This is a dual element wing. The chord of the wing, the width, the height, it's all mandated by the rules. And then down below, this works in conjunction with the upper element, and there's this little gurney. That too, the height of this is also mandated by the rules. And then if you look underneath the car, we have these big tunnels that help evacuate the air out of the car, providing as much downforce with as little drag as we can possibly muster. Here we are in the cockpit. It's obviously a very tight fit. Say hi to Olivier. He's joining us for all the North American rounds as our third driver in the 2 car. There's not a whole lot. We obviously change gears. We can change map positions, mixture, traction control, communicate with the team, drink water, and as I mentioned before, there's really no gauges to speak of, but warning lights that come off if something gets out of range. Thanks for letting me show you our hot rod. Hopefully we'll finish Daytona 24 where we left off at the end of last year with a win at Petite.